voices for 17 years, since April of 2003. Today is April of 2020. And I've discovered that it's possible to block voices. And I'm just going to tell you how to do it because it's really easy to do. I always knew that the voices were coming externally to me, and the reason why had to do with the fact that the voices knew things about my future, and they said things to me that I had never heard before. So fast forward 16 years later, I had wanted to block the voices, and I thought, if voices are external to me, maybe if I go swimming in the swimming pool under the water, maybe the voices will go away. And I tested it, and it was correct. Going underwater made voices go away. So then I realized that I could probably design some sort of a hat that I could wear that could block voices. I'm going to show you an example of a hat that I made. I'm not going to actually wear it, but this is a baseball cap where I took aluminum tape, which is this material here, and I took coins and plastic, and I coated it, and it made a difference. It made the voices go away for a while. And this is another one that I wear. This is very heavy. You can see that's how heavy it is. This blocks voices, and it blocks headaches and everything else associated with voices, making you fall asleep. Like you feel like you're tired right over here. I get the headaches over here. This definitely does it. I coated it with coins, primarily in the front, not so much in the back, and it makes the voices go away. And I'm going to show you something else. This is a frying pan. It's the dense material that blocks the voices, and the reason why is because voices are caused, they're from an extraterrestrial source. It's an energy beam, and it doesn't have to hit your audio canal. You have a nerve that your nerves from your brain run throughout your body, and all it has to do is hit the nerve that's near the audio canal, which runs through your body, and all day long it's hitting those nerves, usually on my inner thighs, sometimes the tips of my fingers. That's why I'm wearing this glove, because the plastic protects my hand. I feel it a little bit on this hand too, so I'm going to put my other glove on. And then what will happen is I'll start to feel it in my fingertips. So what the pan does is it blocks the beam. It's literally the atoms within the pan that is blocking the beam. And all you got to do, the beam comes from the nearest window or the nearest opening. There's lots of walls that way, and there's fewer walls this way because of it's an apartment complex. So the beam always comes from that direction. There's an open door over here and another open door. That's where it comes from. Never comes from that way because it's like 20 or 30 apartments going in that direction. And I don't think it comes that way. There's a few apartments that way and an apartment that way. It almost always comes from that way. So this, if you put it like this, it will block the beam. And that's how I do it. The reason why I bought this is because when I lie down at night, I feel the beam hitting different parts of my body, and I just want to be able to put it wherever I feel the beam hitting. The beam is very small. Like this is big enough it could block the beam. In fact, a coin is big enough to block the beam. So another thing that I discovered, I was getting up tired every day. My eyes were always hurting. So I made this. It's a pair of glasses where I put coins onto the glasses, 2 layers of coins, and I put it on. And I did this to protect my eyes because I was getting all these muscle spasms, and the voices went away. And then I started thinking about this, and I realized, the energy beam hits your nerve and it causes you to hear the voice. But how do they know you're hearing the voice? They can't know it unless they're scanning you somehow. And I believe, I haven't 100% proved this yet, but I believe that there's something right here that's transmitting a signal back. And if you block it, then you're invisible and they don't know where you are and you won't hear voices anymore. When I was younger, when I was a couple of years old, my brother would get nosebleeds. and he'd wake up with a nosebleed, and I thought, wow, that was really weird. A few years later, it happened to me too. I remember one night I felt like it was like an insect crawling up my nose, and I woke up with a nosebleed. And it's like, why do you wake up with a nosebleed? And if you know about ufology or whatever, they claim that there's an implant in people's foreheads that goes up through the nose, and that's what I think it is. And I definitely I know I have one over here because it happened as I was an adult, right before I started hearing voices, like the day before. So I honestly believe that if you cover this position, that you can permanently block the voices. But the problem is, how do you do it? What I've come up with, I don't know where it is because it's very small, is I took some aluminum tape and I cut a piece and I put it over the bridge of my nose. I will show you how I did it. I will demonstrate. Take a piece like this, cut it. Now remember, this is aluminum. And you put it over here, over the bridge of your nose, and you just form it into position. Put your glasses on top, of course. And that's it. I'm going to tell you, I have not confirmed that it works. I don't know for certain that this blocks voices. I would say that I've had limited result, but this does. So what I am working on is I'm going to work on something where I could perhaps glue a coin right to this position to see if it will work. And then you have to wait, see what happens. I am going to say that right now it's more silent than it was before I put it on. So maybe it does make a difference. The other thing is a headband can do it. I've also heard that a neodymium magnet can, if you place it behind your ear, if you think you have an, yeah, see, it's starting to hit my tooth. You see? So now I'm getting a pain in my tooth. This is a common tactic. It's going for another nerve is what it's doing, which means that this is probably working. I'm starting to feel pain right over here. This stuff is evil. Okay, so that's my video. If you have any questions or comments, please contact me. I'm certain that we're in the same boat, and I would love someone to talk to about the situation and share ideas.